the party with Prince, I would always hear people saying, "Oh my God, Prince, so great," but I hadn't heard any of his records until I was driving in my car, and when Dove's Cry came on, I went, oh, this is Prince. And so then, a little bit later, I may not have he heard our song, Hero Takes the Fall, which was on our first Columbia record, but it wasn't like a big hit, it was a college radio hit, but it was a song that Vicki and I had written in the same garage that I was living in when I met them. I was still living there, so that early on. With the Debbie Harry Standy, yeah, it was just a garage converted. So it was very funky, and we wrote that song in the garage. And then Prince loved it. So all of a sudden, cut to probably maybe 84, I want to say. I'm on stage at the Palace, which is a fantastic venue across the street from the Capitol Records building, which is iconic architecture, yeah. And I heard some little rumblings that Prince was coming to see us, but I didn't, I kind of put it out of my mind. And all of a sudden, we're starting Hero Takes the Fall, and he just appears. The way Tom Petty orchestrated the While My Guitar Gently Weeps, because I talked to Tom about that because I did his radio show. It's a much longer story, but he knew that Eric was going to be there, and this one and that one and that, all famous, great guitarists who do amazing solos. But he said, Prince, I don't want you to be just standing there waiting your turn. Yeah. Just stay in the wings. It was all orchestrated by Tom. And so when that moment came, he just gave him a signal, and it came out. If you haven't seen the footage of that performance, was it the Hall of Fame, or was it? It was the Hall of Fame, but it is like a supernatural. That's the genius.
He blows our.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what standing on the stage playing Hero Takes the Fall and just doing my rhythm part and watching him solo. It was supernatural is the best word that I have for it. It was so extraordinary. Yeah.
Was he knowable?
Knowable?
Could you have hey, what's going on?
He had a unique way of communicating. Very friendly, very wonderful. I stumbled upon this little clip, and I don't have it I might have it in my phone because I was thinking about it. I've been doing a lot of interviews, and it comes up. There's a possibility that I could find it, but I'll just paraphrase what it was. So we played the Palace a couple of times. It might have been the night that he did that solo on Hero Takes the Fall. But first of all, just picture you're me, and you're in a young band, and it's your first album, and this is a song you co-wrote, and Prince starts playing on it. Prince comes to your show and plays something that no one on earth could play like that. So then there was always at the Palace kind of like an upstairs room where you could go after the show, and it was kind of like a bar. Okay. And so I was sitting with him in the booth and having a conversation with Prince. It was so interesting. Yeah. And then he had a lot of bodyguards and stuff kind of around, and I was like, whoa, that's kind of wow. I'm sitting there and there's a couple of bodyguards, and he said something like, I'm not going to get this right, but what happens when the clock strikes 12? It was like a Cinderella reference. Or maybe I said that, and he said something like the bodyguards will all turn into rats.
Right.
And, I didn't nail that story, but it doesn't really matter. It was just that I was telling a journalist that, and he goes, stop. That's the sentence. You were sitting in a booth with Prince. And I was like, yes. I was sitting in a booth with Prince. Just that alone.
Like Prince sits in booths?
Yeah, he sits in booths and he talks to you, and you're going, oh my God.
And then a song came later?
Yeah, so then cut to the next album. We're working on the next album, and there's a husband and wife engineering team that worked at Paisley Park a lot. So we were working with David Leonard, and Peggy Leonard was down the street at the sort of bigger, better version of Sunset Sound. Sunset Sound, we were at Sunset Sound Factory, sister studios. But
That's like J. Crew and J. Crew Factory.
Yeah, exactly. And so I get this call that I'm meant to drive over to Sunset Sound, the fancier one, the regular J. Crew. And I go drive over the regular J. Crew to pick up a song that Prince has for me. And I have the very cassette that I got that day. It was on a cassette.
No way.
Yeah, it had a little C sign with a little like copyright thing on it in red. And in red Sharpie, it said Manic Monday and Jealous Girl. Now, weirdly, I have rewound through the tape, and Jealous Girl used to be on there, but it just sort of evaporated off the tape. And I don't know
That
why.
happens to tapes.
Is it?
Well, my son is 12 and he wants to collect tapes now.
Yeah.
And we'll buy them, and I would say a quarter of them work.
And I listened for like an hour to nothing on the other side. It wasn't there anymore.
Huh.
I know, it
Yeah.
evaporated.
Well, maybe Prince wanted it to evaporate.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, what am I going to do now? I'm going to play another thing. How many have I done? Two.
Two.
Oh, I guess I should do this